He goes for number 5. He sees home force. Oh, he gets it. That's an ace.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is CCS Season 2, Week 3. We thank you all so much for being here. And I'm your host, Ty Tangles. Today I am joined by Master Casters, Mr. Talon. How we doing?
I'm doing okay. Like I said, just as warm as I was before.
There we go. And also joined today by Mr. Crazy Man. Mr. Crazy Man, how we doing today?
Doing fantastic. Ready to see this next match.
Absolutely. A great matchup. Game number 1. The map number 1 was really good. Map number 2, Honor just took it over. What do you guys think about the matchup? What do you think was the deciding factor of that matchup? I mean, we saw Honor kind of take over and just lay down the law. What do you guys think? I know before you get started on it, we had a vote in our Discord channel, and 70% voted in favor of Prevail taking that matchup. So what do you think happened? Well, why did Honor come out so victorious, especially after Prevail got off to such a good start?
You know, honestly, if I had to put it down into one sentence, it just had to be that Prevail just couldn't adapt. You know, it's just really as simple as that. They just let a lot of things go. They couldn't really clean out the rounds. They couldn't finish it. They couldn't push into sight very well. You know, they were able to do certain things very well, like clearing some roamers. They had a very good roam clear on most maps. But besides that, they did not have a great execution or a game plan to really kind of close out rounds.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was sitting back watching it, and if I could break it down into the most simplest of factors of why Honor took that, I'd break it down to one word, and that word is Jonesy. Boy, howdy did he show up. That 4K, and all of a sudden he took that momentum with that 4K and border, and he carried it out throughout the rest of the round. Mm-hmm. If you joined us late and you didn't catch all the good action from the previous matchup, all our VODs from all our games are available shortly after the game is played, within a day or so, on youtube.com/CCS Esports, so go and check it out. CCS in general is a community-run league by volunteers, including our great casters here today. So if you find it in your heart to give us a little bit of support and keep CCS running for a long time for you guys as entertainment, please consider donating, subscribing, or buying some great CCS merchandise. The link for that is down below. And then we have something to announce, and something that you guys have been waiting for. A week ago, when we hit 1,000 followers on Twitter, we decided that we were going to give away a jersey to one lucky retweet/follower of the post. We have done a random pulling from everybody who did the retweet, follow, and like on the post. And drum roll, please. And I'm sorry for all the disappointed people out there, but the winner today is, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, BZ Zeke. That is at Zeke _ at ZEIIK or ZEIIK __. If Zeke is out there in the audience today, send us a direct message on Twitter. You got 48 hours, or you could DM one of the staff in our Discord. If we don't hear from anybody within 48 hours, we will draw again during Wednesday's matchup. So Zeke, congratulations. I hope you're here today, buddy. Other than that, let's get into today's matchup. Viet Armis versus Altitude. Crazy. Tell me what you think about this matchup.
Well, if you're looking in terms of the ranks, I think these two teams are going to be a little bit more equal because, you know, we do have Viet Armis at 5th place right now and Altitude at 3rd place. However, we are early in the season, so ranking isn't all too important. Altitude, currently has a 2-0 record, where VEA has a 1-1 record. VEA losing to Hydra, but winning against Reckless. Then again, that day, Reckless, I believe, was missing a few of their core players. So I'm not too certain that VEA is going to be kind of like one of those powerhouse teams. Yeah, they beat Reckless, which is a really good team, but, you know, Reckless was missing a few of their players, which put them at a pretty big disadvantage. So overall, I think this match hopefully is going to be pretty equal, and we should have a fairly decent matchup to watch now.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna have to give the advantage to Altitude in my opinion. I think that together they have proven that they're a little bit stronger of a team. So yeah, definitely look for them as the favored to win VA. Definitely the underdogs here. Like you mentioned, that one win that they did have was kind of against a very weakened Reckless. Reckless that had 2 subs. So whether or not that win really means much, it's going to be kind of interesting to see. This match. I think this is really going to be a really great proving match for them if they're able to really kind of pull it out, realize, hey, this is what we need to do, and then actually kind of prove themselves as a team instead of just that 1-1 record that they have right now.
Fantastic insight, gentlemen. With that being said, I think the players are getting into the match. We'll move right along, and I'll start us off this time with the starting lineup for Altitude. And today we'll be having Callie, Throw, Anime, Euphoria, usually with 1 U, sorry for the misspelling there, and Sharsh. Now, these guys have been together. They're one of these teams that we haven't heard a lot about coming into the season, and so because of their unknown status, they've been kind of getting, not necessarily a bad rap, but nobody's been giving them a lot of credit. Every time that they've played so far, they've lost the community vote overwhelmingly on who they think would win, and both times Altitude went in and showed them, hey, you're not talking about us, because both times they came in, hard-fought battles, but they showed up and they took the W both times. So I don't think anybody's underestimating them quite as much anymore, because today they actually got the vote, the majority of the votes for the favorite for today. What do you guys think about this roster? What do you know about them? What have you seen? Tell me what your thoughts are.
Well, they do have 3 kind of main fraggers: Anime, Euphoria, and Sharsh, for Altitude there. So definitely kind of look out for them. I don't know. We'll see exactly how they end up playing it out. Anime does play on that Blackbeard a lot, so of course he is going to have a high kill count. However, Sharsh is going to be kind of like your Ash Mirror player, so he can definitely be up there in terms of kills as well. So don't really put any of these guys out just yet. I'd like to see Callie just kind of step it up just a little bit, but you got to remember he is kind of a support player, so I can't really I can't really get down him too much for that. But just kind of pay attention. But I do think that this is actually a fairly strong lineup.
Crazy, you got anything to add to that? Oh, sorry to cut you off there, guy.
So good. I do have to agree. It's a pretty decent lineup. It's fair. It's pretty balanced all across the board, and that's what you want to see in a team. A team that's more balanced across the board is going to have a much easier time going up against, even if another team has more wins than them. If that other team has 1 star performer, then you're still not going to really have a good matchup if the other team is much more balanced, because you have to rely on that one person. So having a team that's very balanced like this is very good for Altitude. So I'm hoping to see a lot from them, not only during this match, but during the season.
Absolutely. Okay, well, enough about Altitude. Let's go on over and have a look at the starting lineup today for V at Armis. And Mr. Talon, if you don't mind, would you lead us off?
Sure. First up, we got Hambone, MRGA, Liquor, Sir Batmat. That's all that always gets me. And then Tyler is what we're going to call him. It's just Tyler backwards. Tyler BB. He just likes to spell his name that way. So just keep an eye out for that. BB Riley is just Tyler. Other than that, that's going to be your 5 for VEA. Definitely look out for Tyler there. He's definitely going to be one of your main fraggers. Even though he's on that Habana, he makes a lot of his kills on defense as Bandit. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Liquor is also kind of up there, but he's just a Blackbeard player, right? So definitely always going to be, or you should always be having a high kill count as Blackbeard. So definitely look out for a lot of Blackbeard play all throughout this matchup.
Yeah, before I was like, Viet Armis, that I recognize some of the players. We got to kind of see what's going on. And then, last week they went out and they beat Reckless. Now, I know you guys touched on it. I know they were missing 2 of their key players, okay? But Reckless is one of those teams that they were in the Challenger League finals, right? They worked their way all the way up. They have subs, right? They are prepared for a situation in which they can't have all their players. Now, typically you don't have 2 players, but the point I'm trying to make is that even with 2 subs, Reckless is not by any stretch of the imagination a pushover team. And for Viet Armis to take the W from them, subs or not, is an impressive achievement. Now, I'm not quite sure who they played week 1. You guys might have that information. But I did watch that game last week, and it did impress the heck out of me. And it really, really stumped the fans, who overwhelmingly, and if you do, if you look at it on paper, rightly so, overwhelmingly voted Reckless to be the winner for that day. And a lot of people ended up being quite upset because Viet Armis went in and laid down the law, quite frankly, especially in that last map. So yeah, again, this is one of those games that it's difficult for me to pick. You picked Altitude, okay, but I'm gonna pick Viet Armis in this matchup, so we'll have to see what happens. Crazy man, why don't you be the tiebreaker for us?
Honestly, it's hard to be a real tiebreaker here because I think it could go either way, in my opinion. I mean, they lost to Hydra. They won against Reckless. I'm talking about Viet Armis right now. They won against Reckless while they did have subs, but you have to look at who the subs were filling in for. They were filling in for 2 of Reckless's, stronger players. So having those subs in there does kind of push some of the advantage away from Reckless. And at the same time, though, we're seeing Altitude. They won against Prevail, who last matchup, winning against them, if you watch that last matchup, it doesn't look like it's something that's too overly hard to do. Yes, it's still an accomplishment. You're winning against another team. But in a situation like that, it doesn't look too great for Altitude or as good as you would want. And they also won against Battle Buddy Tactics. But overall, I think both teams are going to be kind of equally balanced. And it's I think it's just all about who they've been against so far.
And that being said, sorry to cut you off there, but the bans are indeed underway. Cafe, Coastline, Bank, and Skyscraper. Talon, tell me what you think. Viet Armis, Coastline and Skyscraper back-to-back as their first 2 bans. What do you think about that?
Well, honestly, I think the real big thing to look out for is actually that both of these teams, their bans kind of line up. Both of them are kind of going for that border Oregon kind of chalet lineup. So I'm not very surprised that we're seeing this. So honestly, it's going to be probably border Oregon, or it's going to be border club in Oregon. Yeah. So that's going to be the picks there. Other than that, like I said, the bans exactly lined up for VEA and Altitude. So there was really only just that one ban of chalet that was really just kind of like that one last decider, do they want to play club or not? Because we've seen both VEA and Altitude play that border Oregon chalet, and they've banned towards border Oregon and chalet every single time. So I'm not surprised at all of what we're seeing right now. This is like something we could have all predicted coming from like 1,000 miles away. But that's what the map lineups is going to be. So we're going to see a border on map 1, Clubhouse on map 2, and an Oregon on map 3.
Now, before we get into the game, and before I bid you guys adieu so you can take over and do that, Crazy, I demand that you break this tie right now.
Make a prediction. You
got to do it. You got to do it.
If I'm going to give a prediction, I think I have to say Altitude. They have a much more balanced team than VEA. VEA has those 2 playmakers. They have Liquor and Tyler. And if those 2 don't show up tonight, those 2 need to outperform the entirety of Altitude. So if you really want me to be a tiebreaker, I'm going to say Altitude in this situation.
Okay. Well, good luck to you both. And, we'll see what happens. Either way, I'm pretty sure we're going to get.
So hopefully once these 2 teams are ready, we will go ahead and get right on into the very first map. If you couldn't remember from about 30 seconds ago, it is going to be border. border. I like border. It's a very simple map, so we'll be seeing it quite often, I suspect, throughout this season. Good luck, have funs indeed. So we will be seeing Altitude is going to be the starting team on attack. It's going to be VEA going out on defense first. I see a Legion potentially getting picked. Capkin, he's just kind of, Tyler's just kind of trolling me a little bit. I actually kind of want to see if he goes Capkin or where do you put him. If you go Legion, for standard stuff, looks like he's just kind of, playing around with it. He just wants me to say his name because he thinks he's cool. So he's just going to go Bandit at the end of it. So, look at that. Look at that. Sorry, you're trying to play me too. Like he's trying to go Montang. No, you can't do that, buddy. I know you. You're Ash. You're an Ash player.
Yeah, we saw Montang play on Wednesday. That would have been interesting to see another one come up from.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that actually worked. That's the sad part about it. It actually worked. You know, they did run the Montang, now that I remember it, several rounds, and like I said, it worked some rounds, and other rounds it just did not pan out. But with that, like I said, round number 1 looks like their defensive setup is going to be a heavy fountain hold. Those of you who have watched Border before know that you've got either a security hold or like an office fountain hold, and it's going to be one or the other. And this time it's going to be the office and fountain hold. Expect to see the mirror get put up there. They're not really going to do anything about security. They're just kind of leave it. I fully expect the attackers on altitude, to go ahead and just take immediate control of it and just push in from there. We'll see if Tyler is in position to battery trick it. Sharsh needs to turn up his sensitivity if he wants to do a full 360 there, because unfortunately he's not quite making it all the way. But I like this aggressiveness. You know, Sharsh has already got it following a drone. That's going to be Callie going to be droning him out. I like this east stairs immediately. They're going to try and get east stairs control. This is exactly what they need to do. Get control of it. You know, hold it down, start droning out. Make sure you get security control. Push into box. You don't want to really push if they're going to be going and holding inside of office and fountain. You know, just go for box. Honestly, like you don't have a thermite, but one Habana should be enough to just stack it up. 3 tall, and then you should be good from there to go. Ooh, looks like Charles is just now discovering that, hey, yeah, they're playing inside of fountain. So got to make sure that you start running around, and hopefully we'll start seeing them diversify their attack.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Ash that we needed to be seeing last game. An Ash that pushes in with a drone. That's what they did. And they actually had a very nice pinch there to take the east control. They had a Thatcher on one side and the Ash on the other side. So they had a crossfire there. So if anybody from the defending team... Ooh!
From above.
I didn't even see what happened there. Anime with the Blackbeard headshot onto Liquor. Did you catch what just happened?
I think he was above. Okay, so waiting room, actually, that roof is open. So I think he actually just kind of got a really nutty angle down into that. It looks like Tyler's able to pick up one. Sharks immediately trades it right back onto Tyler. So that's going to be putting a man advantage for altitude 4-3 right here as Sharks picks up another one. So that's going to put it on a 4-on-2. Not looking good for VEA right off this very start, as Euphoria is going to be picking up another one onto Hambone. It's going to be all up to MRGA. He does, I believe, still have his C4, so if he's careful, he's hiding close. He's going to be able to pick up one. Misses the first time, picks up the second one, but wastes so much time because he's out of bullets, and that's going to be Sharks picking up a 3K, I believe, for that very first round. Good job there from Altitude, able to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was talking about before when I said, they kind of rely on Tyler and Liquor. They're the two stronger players. Once Tyler went down there, it was a little bit of a scrappy gunfight there, but once Tyler went down, they just kind of pushed in really quickly from offices and took a massive advantage, with Tyler and MRGA being the only ones on VEA to get a kill. And then 3 kills coming in from Sharsh there, actually. So really nicely played from them. That's the Ash that you always want to see. You want the aggressive, entry fragger playing Ash. That's what you're supposed to do. And when you do it right, the round just goes beautifully in your favor.
I agree there. I love that explosive mentality coming out from Altitude as well, just because, they got control what they needed to. They held down the east stairs, and then they just got the picks. They were able to just get in there, boom, 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 get right on in, and there you go. That was the round. That is such a night and day difference to what we saw in the first matchup of the night. And I honestly do love the change, because that's exactly what I want to see out of some of these better teams, and that's what they need to start adapting to. Just get in there and get it done.
Yeah, and they didn't let any holes that were open on any floors, any kind of roamers or anything like that. They didn't let that slow them down. Yeah, they saw that there were holes open on the balcony, but that didn't stop them from kind of pushing in and trying to take officer's control. And it's really big for the roamers to have to, they need to slow down the entry fraggers. And if you're not doing that, you're not doing your job. You either slow them down or shut them down. And without doing that at all, Tyler, I think, shut down one person that was kind of pushing in, but then he got picked off immediately. He just completely put himself in a really bad position, and it's not the smartest thing to do. But we are moving into the next round here, and I see Liquor on the Blackbeard, and like we said before, he is one of those Blackbeard players. You're going to see a lot of kills coming out from him. He's probably going to get himself up onto that AC window right now, so he can just kind of look into archives, shut down some rotations, stuff like that. Throw is going to be holding Armory Locker's hallway. Looking down those stairs, and Kaylee and Sharsh actually are both inside of security right now. So they are doing that security hold where they have the holes looking in through fountain. So Tyler picking off Anime right there. That's an early pick onto the Pulse. That's not someone you want to lose, especially since you can kind of shut down plants from downstairs. So that's a nice pick for Tyler to get there. Euphoria picking off Liquor. That Blackbeard going down is really bad. You do not want to lose a Blackbeard this early in the round, especially if they haven't gotten any kills yet. You know, Blackbeard is a fragging character where your primary job is to shut down flanks and kill people that try to still, go through that. So the attacker's actually coming in pretty strong, but they got it slowed down, and that's not good for them in the slightest. They are starting to open up the wall here from offices into archives, so that's Habana doing her job finally. And hopefully that gives them a little bit. There's only 1:15 left on the clock. They do have the Buck downstairs right now. There's no roamers downstairs, so Buck does have that full control of the vertical play. Kaylee does drop down, and he immediately gets shot down. Tyler taking out Shar, so now security and downstairs, it's a 4v2, so this is actually flipped. It's going in favor, massively in favor of the attackers, all left down to Euphoria. Sir Fat Matt takes out the throw. And then Euphoria sitting there takes out the Buck as he's trying to push up. Tyler pushing in this direction. He's going to get spotted by Euphoria. He's going to go for the wide peak, and he's going to get shut down immediately by Euphoria. I mean, this smoke being here, he can shut down this plant if he gets the smoke canisters. I don't think he landed it correctly, though. He does not realize it yet. He's kind of sitting back because Ying is watching for their teammate to get that diffuser down. The diffuser is down now. It is a retake situation for Euphoria, but he does have those smoke canisters. He has, one smoke canister left. He needs to shut down at least one angle right now using that smoke canister to give him the ability to kind of push towards someone else. So MRGA is actually not looking in through this hole right now. It looks like he is going to peek it, but he's not going to catch Euphoria just yet. Euphoria coming in for the retake, gets spotted by MRGA, shutting down the round for the attackers.
I like the immediate trade back. VEA didn't let that first round get to their head. They immediately, came right back with a blazing heart. So they were able to pick it up. Great job from Euphoria. Almost was able to clutch it out. I was really rooting for him to, get one, get two, and then, go from there. So a nice try from him. But other than that, great job from Tyler, able to kind of make up for his mistake in the previous round, whereas, he kind of pushed out from that mirror, which is one of the reasons why I think Offices fell so quickly, is that Sharks was able to punish him for just kind of pushing out after he got that initial kill. But that last round on attack, he was able to really, make things happen. Both all of VEA was able to take control of East Stairs, get into offices, get into security at the same time, all while not really losing anyone important, and get the Buck underneath, start bucking. And honestly, just too many positions got lost too quickly for Altitude, and I think that's really what hurt them the most, is that they played really heavily inside of security, but then they weren't really able to do anything against that. Really, like they weren't really able to deny the office control, even though they were sitting inside of security with the proper setup in the mirror. So honestly, they just need to either go somewhere else, go for it like a fountain hold, or just be able to actually do and apply pressure from security into offices across fountain more effectively. I think that'll really kind of help them out.
Yeah, without a doubt, losing control of offices like that did put the defenders at a massive disadvantage. And on top of that, there were a few players on VEA that kind of pushed in from flanks that you wouldn't necessarily be expecting. But as I'm talking about this, Sharsh, it looks like has lost connection to the server. So it is going to be a 4v5 starting up right here. Anime on the Blackbeard, throws on Thatcher, Euphoria on Sledge, and Callie on Habana. So a pretty standard team lineup right now. And we're seeing a pretty standard lineup again from VEA. So both teams doing really well on their attacking rounds. Some small issues near the beginning of them, but in the end it did go in their favor. And we do see Euphoria. It looks like he spotted Sir Fat Matt with his drone. Yes, he knows where he is. He's not going to get the peek on him, but this is what I was talking about before, where you're droning for yourself. If he had one of his teammates kind of sitting there ready on the drone, they could have pinged him, and then Euphoria has either going to have the advantage of knowing exactly where he is and pre-firing that spot, or catching him off as he tries to run. Because when a defender gets pinged, when a roamer gets pinged, they're going to try to get away from where they were just pinged. They don't want the attackers to really have that knowledge of exactly where they are. But we do see Euphoria is actually headed upstairs right now. And the attack is kind of going a little bit slow right now. It's 1:30. They do still have Blackbeard kind of sitting here peeking through sandwich window. He's finally going to go ahead and get onto that AC window. And Habana still outside of offices. They don't have any control inside of offices yet. They're still waiting on their sledge to take control of somewhere on the map. I think he's still taking security control right now. So taking this long to really get map control is not good for them. You know, you have Tyler right here. He knows exactly where Kelly is. He's going to give his teammates some pings, trying to, you know, say, hey, listen, this is where they are, and this is what you need to watch out for. I think the diffuser is in sight right now, and Kelly is just going to kind of try to wait and see if Tyler tries to peek this. Hopefully get the pick. That would be a really good pick for them to get, because that would give them fountain control. Tyler's back, just gets scraped by those bullets. He decides, I'm going to run back, but then he's going to go back for the peek, and he's going to get throw actually gets picked off by MRGA. I believe he was the one that was in sight with the diffuser, and then Tyler taking out Callie, Hambo, and taking out Anime, leaving all down to Euphoria. He's in main hall right now. He's going to spot out Sir Fat Matt. He's going to fire at it, but he's not landing shots. There's the headshot coming in from Euphoria on Sir Fat Matt. He goes down. The Ella is down, but it's 30 seconds left. Euphoria is nowhere near the diffuser. He has to push through offices to try to get this, and Tyler is sitting inside a fountain. He's just going to shut it down. You know, they've got a smoke shutting down the push through the main hallway here. There's not much Euphoria can do in this kind of a situation. He's going to kind of toss a grenade, possibly. Yeah, it's going to go into offices, but it's probably not going to get a kill at all. He's going to get shot at by the smoke. He's actually going to take Hambone down, but at 5 seconds left, he's being flashed, or not flashed. He was hit by a Grisma mine, and MRGA is just going to come out and finish up the round and give it to the defenders.
Lots and lots of individual plays are being, you know, coming out from altitude. You know, the last defense, I was thinking, you know, maybe it's just a fluke, but now it's just a lot of individual plays that just are not working. They really just are not working. So Sharsh not being there that round, I think really kind of put a dent in their strategy. I think they are relying a lot on Sharsh to do a lot of their work. And that's really not that great of an idea. Like, you need to be like, what if he gets like spawn peaked or picked early? Like, you got to be able to still kind of play out the round without one of your guys, you know, because situations like that happen from time to time. So the fact that I think that they're relying too much on Sharsh is really going to be, you know, not that helpful if his game crashes again, or like I said, if he gets picked off early. So they need to be able to, you know, just keep working together and just play together as a team instead of just going in one by one and getting picked off. Because I think that's the second time in a row that, you know, we've seen like Euphoria just kind of at the end there, just kind of chilling, trying to make like a 1v whatever clutch. And it's just not something that is going to be winnable for him. So I just need to see them go for those trades like you were talking about, get those drones in there, you know, start droning for your teammates. You know, very simple things. You know, I would have totally expected altitude to really kind of get that down by now. So hopefully they'll kind of realize their mistakes and then, you know, fix them up. Looks like we'll be seeing once more a security hold. We'll see if they don't get picked off this time, because last time we definitely saw VEA was able to expertly kind of take control of security fairly quickly. They got, I believe last time they might have had a Twitch instead, or they just ying their way on in, and that's exactly what's going to happen if you let that like just go on. So honestly, I would have liked to have seen them play into the fountain this time and just give up security, but it looks like they are going to be determined in sticking into security and make it work.
I mean, last time the attackers didn't devote too much to taking this security room until later in the round. So I think this time it's possible that the attackers are going to, you know, focus a bit more on security early on, because you get that control this early on and you have so much more map control because of this setup. And that's one of the issues, one of the things that I don't like about this setup personally, is that you have, you give that advantage to the attackers if you lose security that early. You give massive amounts of map control to them because they now have control of security, fountain, offices, all of it, all because you couldn't hold security. And security is, you know, if you play it correctly, it's not too hard to hold, but it's not exactly one of those things where you could just kind of go in and be like, hey, yeah, no, I'm just going to hold security. You need to know what you're doing.
Exactly.
So as long as
those traps, man. There's an Ella just sitting out in the middle of the waiting room. That is a unique spot if I've ever seen one. But yeah, like you're saying, you know, security is definitely easy to hold if you have those traps. You know, if you get that Ella in there, maybe even some Capkins in there, you know, it's definitely super hard. We're gonna be seeing a run out here from Throw. He picks up one. Will he find another? He finds another before finally getting traded out by Sir Fat Matt. That is definitely something that they needed indeed, as Sharsh is also able to pick up Hambone with a headshot there, bringing it to a 4-on-2. MRGA is just way out of position. He's way down. He's going to get flanked by Anime, as Anime is going to go and close him out. Sharsh is able to clean up Matt with a C4. Wow, what an explosive round there that we actually just saw from altitude. That was actually pretty intense. That was a great job from Throw. He just knew when to run out. He was able to pick up two. Honestly, I was waiting to see the 1, 2, 3 in the kill feed, but he got the two. He did what he needed to do. He disrupted that round. That is something that is very understated, is a proper disruption in a round. Okay, so you have a good attacking strategy, but say for example, if someone kind of gets picked off really early on, or if someone gets picked off midway through the strat, that can really be a big disruption and that can throw a lot of teams off. And that's exactly what he did, because Thoreau just kind of like ushered in, like all of a sudden, like, hey, we're just going to go out there. We're going to kill a bunch of people. Sharsh followed it up with a 2K of his own anime, cleaned up the Thatcher, which was, I'm not exactly sure why, but the Thatcher was underneath in main lobby. So I'm definitely questioning that positioning. I do think he was definitely out of position. He definitely could have better used his life watching for a run out, such that Thoreau did. I think that would have, obviously, of course, that would have saved the round there for them. So definitely a great job spotting that opening from Throw and getting out there and making it happen. And of course, Sharsh just cleaning it up, anchoring down inside of security. So they realized, all right, hey, listen, they just did that to us last time. They knew where to go the very next round. That's exactly what happened. So we're going on into round number 5. We're all tied up here on border. It's still anyone's game. Tyler throwing out a couple of cams outside of vents. He's going to throw one. I think he might have actually thrown a second one as well. So we'll see exactly how they decide to play it. I actually do love this setup that VEA's got going right now upstairs. They've got that one mirror on the box wall. They've got castles up here. They've got it reinforced over inside of archives. This is definitely going to be very tough, very, very tough for them to try and make something happen. We saw Tyler going for a little bit of a cheeky run out. I'm not sure exactly what you're doing there, but it's going to be really tough for Altitude to really make something happen. And it's going to be up, I guess, up to Sharsh to really just run in there and go in. He gets hit by an Elemine. He gives away his position. Licker's going to go for a quick peek there. He's going to hop up. Yep, that's going to be an easy kill, as Sharsh is just kind of laying there. He has no support whatsoever, no drones, no one following him up. Not exactly sure what he was doing. No flashes, no nothing. Like, that was really kind of a questionable decision. He just kind of tried to shift W his way on in. That's not how this is going to work in this trap meta. Maybe that might have worked, maybe earlier, maybe season 3 when there was no traps, but definitely not anymore. So it's going to be up onto Throw and Cowie to make maybe something happen. However, they decided to kind of fall out. They realized the enemy got down as Euphoria is able to clean up Hambo, and maybe he was trying to get a little bit too aggressive, trying to confirm his kill onto the Blackbeard, but was unable to. So it's still a 4-on-4 after that trade.
Yeah, I mean, some early picks coming in from both teams here. Tyler is just holding this window really aggressively, and the Ying pushes in and gets taken out. But then, so Tyler took out Throw, and Anime took out Tyler. It was a nice trade there. Getting, you clear out that site. The Ella is now inside of this bomb site, though. I'm not sure why the Ying pushed in that aggressively, but Anime getting a headshot on the MRGA, taking out the Mira now. So that's down to a 3v2 right now, but Anime is very low on health. It'd be preferable if he could be reset right now. But he is, he's doing what Blackbeard's supposed to do. He's playing outside of this window. We saw last match, there was a Blackbeard who just played upstairs on this site. And Euphoria getting a headshot on a Surfat Matt. Liquor finally closing out on that Blackbeard. 2 attackers still standing, but Liquor is upstairs right now. Euphoria, I think, knows it. He's looking towards that hatch. He stopped looking at the hatch, though. And there goes an impact grenade from Liquor, trying to open up some angles for him to peek from upstairs. He's heading towards the hatch inside of Archives right now, seeing if he can catch anyone off guard. It looks like the attackers are holding safe angles right now, though, trying to play it safe, which is smart. They have the diffuser down. All they have to do now is stay alive. As long as they stay alive, they take this round. And we've seen the teams do very well so far on each side. And Euphoria is going to take some damage from above, and Liquor is going to drop down and get picked off by Euphoria. And, 2 attackers were right there just watching for that hatch to be dropped. And the second that he went into there, he did not stand a chance.
I was kind of worried there for Altitude. I really was. Sharsh, he's kind of like their carry right now. And, he hopped on in. Well, speaking of carry, Euphoria is actually really doing very well. But you got to remember, I believe 4 of his kills are actually from clutch situations where he lost. So it's kind of deceiving there. But yeah, Sharsh has definitely got a lot of those impact frags that are making a lot of the difference in the round. So that when I saw him kind of get picked off early in the round, just kind of like YOLOing it in there, I was really worried for them, but they made the correct decision. They decided, okay, listen, we're not going to ever in our lifetime take upstairs control with the utility that we have. So let's rotate down. Let's see if we can find some picks. And that's exactly what they did. They found those picks. They got 1-for-1 trades. I believe Anime actually got an untraded kill as well. So they had the advantage all the way through. The people upstairs, they didn't have enough holes to help them. You know, if they had had some holes and maybe in blue corner looking down into that vents window, I think that would have really, really helped out this defense here, because then all of a sudden it's no longer a one-on-one, it's potentially a two-on-one. Maybe someone hops into vents and gets killed from above. That's like a great equalizer kill. I really wasn't a big fan of, you know, how VEA was playing it after they realized that Altitude was rotating, because, you know, we did see, I believe it was an Ella, I think it was holding down that box mirror, and he saw both Callie and the Thatcher, I believe it was, rotate out. Like they both just left. They just hopped over the side. And that should have been their cue that, hey guys, they're rotating out. They're just gonna go straight for the site. And that's where the big mistakes and the big openings were kind of left there, because obviously Altitude was able to exploit that, and too many picks happened. You need to be playing for the bomb plant as a defender. You know, don't get too aggressive on that doorway or on the windows inside of vents. Just play your game and wait for the plant, and then try and deny the plant. Play, you know, C4, smokes, Ellas, you know, do what you need to do to deny the plant, because it's a lot safer. Because when you start a plant, guess what? That's one person that's out of the equation while during that 7 seconds while that person is planting. So that kind of allows that opening for you to get in there and do what you need to do.
And I think another big mistake though was Tyler was sitting inside of vents with the Valkyrie cams. He was trying to use those super late in the round. He was going for, you know, window picks, and the Ying running into sight, putting a lot of damage onto him, and then he just exposed his back to the Blackbeard. That was not a smart move on his part, and that gave them a decent bit of control on ventilation. So a lot of not so smart moves there coming in from VEA that did ultimately cost them the round. But we're already pretty far into this round with a minute 40 left on the timer, and it looks like the attackers are getting control of the top floor now, and they're kind of committing to it. They're much more committed to taking control right now. This is something that...
Not sure exactly what happened, but Crazy, you cut out there, so I'll pick it up from here. So yeah, like he was saying, they are a lot more committed to taking upstairs, and that's because, you know, they have that buck. They didn't have a mirror on that box wall, so that was a much easier time to push in. Sharsh is able to start off the round by taking out a Liquor. That's going to be the sledge out of commission. They still have a buck to really try and apply pressure from the top down. So it's going to be all up to Anime here inside of Fountain. He's giving away his position. Tyler's going to move around. Tyler, remember, has already used his utility, so it's okay if he gets killed off there. It's going to be Anime picking it out as he grabs another one. That's all of a sudden a 5-on-2 as Throw picks up not 1 but 2 on 2. Matt and Hambone leaving it all up to MRGA. This is not looking like a good round for VEA, and they just fell apart. You know, Anime, great job picking up Tyler there, even though it wasn't a super critical kill. It was just a kill that you definitely needed to get, because if Tyler was able to push all the way across, they definitely would have been in a much peculiar position that wouldn't have allowed Throw to move all the way in there and get a double. MRGA is going to try something in a 1v5 with 30 seconds left, and he's going to go for the trade. Throw picks up a 3K to close out that round. Great job from Altitude as they push themselves into match point 4-2.
Yeah, I mean, so far, we've seen the rounds kind of go back and forth, each team winning a round, and then, you know, the next round is won by the other team. But this round, we definitely did see. Just drawing a blank on their team name right now. I don't know why, but Altitude. They just showed up very well that round. Callie down there with 0 kills, though, but still playing support players. So it's okay. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're using their utility and giving their team the advantage by using their utility. And then the rest of their team is really filling in with those kills. You saw it was fairly balanced across the board for Altitude right now. And they're just performing very well on this map. And it's definitely showing, because they do have the 4-2 advantage right now. It is match point for them. So VEA kind of needs to step it up here. They need to start doing a bit better. We did say before that Tyler and Liquor are 2 of the better players on VEA that we're going to kind of be expecting to do more of the work for their team. And I think right now Liquor is not exactly doing that. He's not really filling in for the kills that his teammates aren't going to be getting.
Alrighty, we're in round number 7. As I mentioned before, match point for Altitude, this is definitely a super critical round. VA's got to figure out, where are their weaknesses? Where can they exploit something? Where can they jump out? Matt on that Ella is definitely going to be looking out for that. Remember, there is no pulse underneath either, so no real C4 presence underneath. So that we could very well be seeing, Altitude pushing right on into security because there's only an Ella in here. Throw is already pushed all the way in. Does he realize it? He looks like that gun of Ella on Matt is going to be able to take down Throw. That's going to be Throw out of the commission. It's going to be up to Sharsh to try and get a trade kill, but he gets Ella'd. Here comes the jump out from Matt. He's going to be able to pick him up. We did a great job. That's exactly what he needed to do. And all of a sudden, he brings his team just that much closer to bring it back into OT. Picking it up. It's 5-3 in advantage, of VEA.
I mean, these big plays coming in from a roamer like Ella, those are what we need to be seeing. But as I say that, Matt through a hatch gets picked off by Euphoria. So that's, Ella did do what she needed to do, though. She bought a little bit, well, not even too much time. There's still 2 minutes left on the timer here. It was all very early in the round that this went down. Those 2 kills are massive, though. That's the Thatcher and the Ash, both out of the equation. There's still bandit charges up on that armory wall, I believe I saw. So that's going to make it a lot harder for Habana to really be able to open that up now. So they're going to have to change their attack up. So even with this much time left on the clock, Altitude has to completely change what they were doing. I'm not sure if Euphoria meant to fall through that hatch there, but now he's going to be downstairs, kind of watching up towards the main hallway. And Kaylee over here is going to have to try. She needs to, or not she. So sorry. So Kaylee needs to do something. They don't have the capability fully of getting rid of these bandit charges, but I do believe. Okay, so they are opening up from below using grenades. They can get rid of that. The mirror window open now. Anime getting a kill on the Hambone at the same time. So this is actually kind of turning around in favor for the attacker. So that mirror window being open is going to push back the person holding box wall. And then the bandit charges are now gone from there. So now Kelly can open up that wall and kind of give them a way to push in. However, it doesn't look like they're actually going for opening it up yet. 50 seconds left on the clock, and they're taking a little bit of a long time to push in here. Altitude really needs to start moving in. They're getting some drones in there to try to get a little bit more intel, but they haven't opened it up yet, so it's a lot harder. You're gonna, my MRG getting a nice headshot on a Cali there. There's no opening potential here. They kind of have to funnel in through this doorway now. They do not have time for a full rotate, and now VEA is just capitalizing on it. They are all watching this doorway, and they are just ready to shut down any kind of a push that comes in. So Liquor and MRGA are both watching right now. MRGA kind of looking through small office there, almost getting shot in the head by Blackbeard. The shot's missing, though. So 15 seconds left on the board. The attackers up. Euphoria finally pushing in. I think he's going to start plant. No, they don't even have the diffuser. And they're pushing in with 8 seconds left. Down goes the Blackbeard. A flank from Tyler gets the Blackbeard, and Liquor closes it down by taking out Euphoria. This is what we needed to see from VEA.
Cali is just having a really, really rough time right now. I don't think he's made a single kill yet. So it's really just kind of unfortunate for him that he's not really able to do anything to help his team out. Yeah, 0-4. So he just, in that 3v3 situation, he couldn't have gotten picked. He needed to use his Habana charges. He needed to use his flashes. He really didn't do any of that. So I'm really kind of disappointed to see, if you're going to drop it like a donut, that's okay. As long as you're still helping the team, you're still helping them drone out, you're still helping them get kills, and you're enabling your fraggers to get kills. However, that round, we saw 2 guys actually kind of get picked out. Throw was not ready for that Ella to be there. He Thatchered and then walked right in, and that's fine, but he wasn't following a drone. That's the sort of stuff that I'm looking for. Like, I need to see Cali, helping out his teammate like that, and that would have kind of enabled Throw to really potentially even get that kill. Another thing that would have been nice is maybe if Throw had communicated what he was doing there, maybe telling Sharsh that, hey guys, I'm pushing in. Like, Sharsh, get right behind me, or you go first, or whatever's going to happen to try and make something happen. Because guess what? They got 2 kills for free. I mean, Matt, what if he had stayed inside of security? We saw him get 2 kills and then drop out of security for no real reason. He could have just sat in there. There's no one to challenge him, and that would have definitely shut down the round for sure, as Anime picked up, I believe, 2 kills, was it, from behind? So definitely needed to see Matt stay in security. Not a big deal, though, of course, his team still won. However, just the fact that Cali just isn't really stepping up and really helping out his team is going to really be hurting this effort. And we need to be seeing Cali, take him off of that Jaeger. He's not really, performing that well on it. I would much rather like to see someone like Throw on the Jaeger. Like, I don't think Throw on a freaking 1 speed is really helpful. But we will be seeing a Montang actually coming out from VEA. Like I said, we've seen this done before. We'll see exactly how well it works out this time. He's bringing the P9, not the revolver. Remember, there is a big damage difference, so keep an eye out for that later in the round as he gets supported by drones and other people, mainly in the form of Buck, helping him get in downstairs. Why does they say that? Enemy's actually able to pick up Matt. That's actually that's a big pickup, because if he can confirm this kill, that's the Buck out of commission. Looks like he will be able to confirm it, as Hambone is unable to push in as fast as he needed to really trade it back. Buck out of commission, that's a huge pickup for them, and very well could be the round.
Yeah, I mean, they were. It looked like they were starting to go for some of that vertical play, getting that Buck in underneath. That would have been massive. But now that they don't have that, it's going to be a lot harder for them to really flush the defenders out of the sites, which is something that they need to be able to do for this style of take. With a Montaigne pushing in, it's not so much that your entry person is going to be getting the kills. It's that you kind of need to flush them out so that Monty can go in there and hold them out. Or at least distract them. And, they're still inside of security, it looks like. So now Monty's going to be pushing into security, trying to get a little bit of, intel here, trying to distract them a little bit, possibly helping his teammates pick them off from other angles. But there's Tyler actually taking out Throw. So that's the Echo down now. And now we see, looks like they're going to finally be going for a bit of a take on security. We did see someone just kind of running in place there. MRGA getting a knife onto Cali. Liquor getting a kill onto Sharsh. So that's 3 defenders down right now. So it is a 2v4. There comes a smoke canister trying to slow down that Monty. Tyler had to team kill Hambone, so I'm guessing there's some sort of connection issue there. Hambone did have the diffuser. There goes the disconnect. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but they do still have the advantage here. They do have one more person. So with this Monty, they could actually pull off a pretty successful take here, at least get the plant down and then force the defenders to have to try to perform in a retake. So there goes another smoke canister coming up right now. There's 30 seconds left in the round, and already I've seen at least 2 smoke canisters get used. We are going to see possibly the 3rd one get used soon, but MRGA is just pushing his way into sight right now, trying to distract them as best as he can, pushing the small off. He's going to get the melee kill on Euphoria. It's down to 1 defender left. It's going to be Anime. He has to challenge this Monty face to face, and he's just going to get taken down.
That was a very good Monty play there, able to bring his team into a 4-4 situation. We will likely have to go ahead and rehost for this, and looks like we will be having, I believe it is Altitude is going to be starting on attack once we get back from overtime. Real quick rehost. We're going to take probably a quick break. It should only take a few minutes, so thank you everyone for your patience and sticking around. We'll be right back with some more CCS action. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more CCS action. We are currently in match number 2 of the night. We are watching Altitude versus VEA. The current score, I believe, is 4-4. We're just now going into overtime. For those of you just joining in, it's been a pretty tight matchup all the way through here on Border. Map number 2 is going to be on Clubhouse, so definitely look out for that after overtime is over. So, Crazy, what have you been seeing throughout this match that you think has really gone well for both of these teams?
I think VEA is actually adapting a little bit better than Altitude is. Altitude is making some mistakes, losing some of their better players earlier on in the rounds. There was that one round that you were talking about before where Sharsh just kind of ran into Archives out of nowhere, got picked off extremely early. A massive waste of one of their best players. So it's mistakes like that could cost Altitude the match. They were up that round. They might have just gotten a little cocky and decided, hey, you know what? I'm just going to play this like I play ranked and just run in there and see if I can get a kill or 2. It didn't work out. So I think Altitude might need to start taking this a little bit more seriously. We have seen some nice runouts from them. There was that run out from, I want to say, Throws, where they got 2 kills. They ran out front door and somehow got 2 kills there. So things like that, you're disastrous for VEA, but it's also disastrous for Altitude in the end, because that could make them get a little too confident and they start making poor decisions based on that. So I think it's just poor judgment on. Yeah, it was poor judgment on both sides that could cost them rounds and cost them the match in the end. But it was 4-2 and now it's 4-4, so this could go either way now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of people were, both looking for VEA. I mean, there's a lot of people, invested in this match, looking for VEA, looking for Altitude to really try and make something happen. Now, it looks like we will be seeing VEA is going to start out on your defense. Last time we did see him here, we did see Sharsh go push right on in and punish a lot of extra aggression from VEA, outwards towards that office. So hopefully they'll, stick behind this mirror. They got two people there. It looks very, very crowded, in my opinion. I would not be surprised if we saw one of them try to run out there and try to make something happen. Charge, what are you doing? He is army crawling his way into office from the hallway.
Solid Snake.
Yeah, wow. Solid Snake is just okay. Well, that's a way to start off the round. I think that you kind of hit the nail on the head when you said they're losing their guys too early. Like they are definitely losing their guys too early. There's no reason for this to be happening. So I don't know. I'm not agreeing with this. Ooh, Tyler's actually going to go down. It's too bad that Euphoria doesn't realize that he actually did down him there. So, like I said, that is losing your guys too early and just in such a weird way. Like what? Like you need to be, like you said, taking it seriously is definitely the name of the game.
I'm not sure what Sharsh might have even expected to gain from that. Like, even if you did successfully crawl all the way to the doorway, what are you going to do now? And then Tyler getting another headshot on the throw here. They're just...
You might cut out again there, buddy, but I believe in you. We can get
this. Ash and the Thatcher that's down.
There you go. He's back. He's alive, boys. We've confirmed it. So it looks like, yeah, Tyler and Lick are definitely going to be holding down this fairly successfully. Callie, like I said, what are you going to do right here? Like, you're holding an angle against a mirror, against a peeker's advantage situation. That's just not going to work out for you in your favor. I'm really just looking for Callie to get his first kill, to really just kind of do like an icebreaker or get some sort of icebreaker. They need to be bringing a Twitch, like, instead of something else. Like, instead of, like, the... Slide, bring a Twitch, open up this mirror if you really decide to go this way. But in all reality, they need to be going over towards security. They needed to go security, but they're butting their heads up against this mirror, and it's just not worth it. It just simply is not worth it. Euphoria used his nades to try and get a kill when in reality he just needed to get rid of the barbed wire. He just needed to try and push it out. Callie's going to get his first kill of the match, as well as followed up by Euphoria as he gets the Ella down as well. Looks like Anime just decided to hop on in. Very low amount of time. The smokes is there as well. MRGA is low. Hamba's going to go for the peak. He's going to pick up 1 and 2, leaving it all up to Euphoria once again. This is just such a similar situation. He's been there, done that. So he's going to try and find him when he does find the other one. Unfortunately, it's just too little, too late. He could not get enough time to try and find that Jaeger. A nice attempt, though. I like the attempt there from Euphoria as an individual, but not as a team from Altitude. Like I said, needed to go to security. There's no reason to butt your head against something that you have no chance to get past.
I mean, you've got it. You got the hammer on the nail right now. It's just they're making these poor decisions and then they're sticking to it. Like, if you make a poor decision, that's fine. I don't care if you make a poor decision. It's going to happen every now and then, but you don't commit to a poor decision. You kind of decide, hey, you know what? This is probably not the smartest thing. I'm going to fall back now. I'm just going to kind of play it safe. I'm not going to be an idiot. I don't know what Sharsh was doing. Crawling right down. There was barbed wire there. There was a mirror window there. Gave complete advantage to the defenders. There's nothing you can do in that situation. Just got completely shut down. And then even after that, they still kept trying to push in through offices. Just poor decisions on poor decisions on poor decisions. And I'm not sure why Altitude is doing this. We've seen them perform in the past. Why are they not performing right now? I want to know what it is that's going on in their heads that's causing this.
I can't exactly even answer that question. That's something that's got to be answered from the inside, and it's just unfortunate that it's coming down this way because Altitude was just ahead and they just looked so strong there in the beginning. They were going 1 for 1, and then all of a sudden they kind of came out 4-2. But then something like they're just not able to hit their shots. They're relying way too much on Sharsh to make something happen. But then at the same time, Sharsh is just throwing his life away just so often that it's really just disappointing to see so much talent potentially wasted. And, of course, Callie just has not been having a whole lot of a great game there. So just kind of combine the two there, and that's just a recipe for disaster is what it really comes down to. I'm sure their comms are a complete mess right now, just kind of all over the place, worried about one thing when in reality they need to be doing another thing. They're probably not listening to the IGL at the moment. So I just need them to really kind of pay attention. I'm not even sure if they're going to be able to win this round. And if honestly, it could have go 6-4 in favor of VGA to take us onto Clubhouse. And on Clubhouse, they have to bring it back in. They have to focus. They have to stay consistent here. Like, look, Sharsh is trying to go out for a wide flank. Like, what you don't need to. You're behind a mirror. Like, you don't need to leave your position. You're pretty chill. You're not in the threat of getting naded. You've got anime in the hallway. There's just so many things that you don't need to do, and he's just trying to be overly aggressive. I feel like he's trying to play this like he's in a ranked play. Look, he's all the way up there. Just hide on the mirror and wait for them to come in. It's a one-way mirror. Waste of a C4. Unfortunately, enemy from the hallway is able to pick up Liquor. So that's going to be the Blackbeard out of position, or out of commission, excuse me. This is something that needed to be happening much earlier. Is Matt on East Stairs. He would have been able to easily take out Anime from behind if he had done that at least 10 seconds earlier, and that would have prevented the Blackbeard from getting picked off as well. A little bit of a misplay there from the EEA, excuse me, Essential Shark. Sharsh 69 is able to pick up NRGA, and then Tyler is able to pick up Throw. Yeah, keeps it fairly even, still in advantage. Oh, that's going to be another kill from Cali. So he's at least bringing it back in OT. Hambone, immediate trade back. Tyler gets his own as well. And all of a sudden, a 4-on-2 turns into a 2-on-2 as security is now in the hands of VEA.
Yeah, they do have control of security, but you did see Anime was just on the eastern stairwell. So he could come in for a late rotate or late flank. Euphoria has the ability to kind of shut. Oh no, Anime's back onto site now. So Euphoria has the ability to shut down a push onto this wall here because he does have those smoke canisters still. And there's 50 seconds left in the round. If they bring it down to the last 30 seconds, then that means that Smoke can single-handedly shut out this push right here. So it's 40 seconds left now. They do have the wall open. It looked like Hambone was starting to move up now. Euphoria just kind of has to sit behind this mirror window. He has a little hole there. He can throw his smoke canisters in through it. He sees the drone. He's going to take that out and deny as much info as possible. 30 seconds left. Now comes the Habana pellets that are going to try to open up. Oh, that's a missed smoke canister. That can cost him, but he gets that shotgun onto Tyler, and then Anime comes in and finishes Hambone. I thought that missed smoke canister might have cost them the round. I don't know why the Habana decided to just rush in like that, but that cost them dearly.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you're just running down on time like that, there's just not very much that you can do otherwise. I gotta say that was a pretty good shot. Great job, able to pick him up through the wall. And honestly, it just comes down to one thing: East Stairs, East Stairs, East Stairs. Oh, and did I mention East Stairs? Honestly, Anime had free roam of that entire second floor hallway. And that can't happen. You just cannot give up control of that. And that's one thing that I think that Prevail actually did fairly well, was actually staging someone. I think it was Lance, was actually staging him at East Stairs every single time and very consistently. And guess what? They had control of that hallway, except for a few times when Mango actually missed a couple of shots. I think not once but twice. Actually, I think it was Prophet was able to take back control of East Stairs, just hitting absolute nutty shots. It was great job from him. But either way, the main takeaway is you have to have East Stairs control, or else things like that's going to happen. The Blackbeard certainly wasn't expecting anyone coming from that doorway, but when you don't have control of that second floor hallway from East Stairs, that sort of stuff can happen. And that's what really kind of led to the downfall there, is that the Montang got in, had no real support. He didn't really do anything. The Montang was just like, meh, whatever, I'm here. The Blackbeard got picked off because they didn't have East Stairs control. And then there was really no one else from the other side, even though they didn't have a mirror on box. For whatever reason, it just took them just too long to do just absolutely nothing. So here we go. This map is going the distance. Once again, our first matchup in Prevail versus Honor, we saw a 6-5 border, and we're going to be seeing a 6-5 border here once again, going all the way. Next map is going to be Clubhouse. We'll see exactly how well Sharsh is able to stay alive, because that's really kind of the critical key here. Will he be able to stay alive, or is he just going to army crawl his way into a mirror and die?
He did throw his drone out, so he's going to be alive for at least a little bit longer right now. I'm not expecting a big run out right now. Bro actually on the Ying is already inside. Tyler might get caught off guard inside of his bathroom by Throw. He's going to spot him, and there it is. Throw taking out Tyler, shutting down the bandit, or the Legion, I should say, that was floating around inside of bathrooms. Now they have bathroom control. There are still people inside of customs, though, so they're going to have to... Oh, and there it is. Anime taking out Sir Fat Matt. That's the Ella out of the equation, so now they have control. And Sharsh taking out Hambone. I mean, they are taking this round by storm. There are no holds barred right now. I mean, MRGA is kind of dropping down onto the servers now, coming back towards site. Liquor is still on site, but they're opening up this wall now, and these defenders just have to kind of play it as safe as they can, buy as much time as possible. But Altitude is just showing up for this round. I mean, they started taking them by storm there.
Exactly. Not looking very good for VEA here in the last round on border. MRGA has been spotted. I'm sure Liquor has as well. Yeah, there he is. Oh, the wallbang is just so close. His throw jumps down into sights, picks up one, immediately gets traded back. But a Fury of Bulls is going to finish out with Euphoria, closing out that round. Game number 1 is going to be going to Altitude. Game number 2 is going to be coming up on Clubhouse very shortly.
Yeah, an impressive matchup from both teams. But please stick around because we are going to be going into Clubhouse shortly. So we'll see you guys again soon.
Yep, we're just going to take a short break. So like I said, like you were saying, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are just finishing out map number 1, getting ready to go into map number 2 of Clubhouse. This is the VEA versus Altitude matchup. This is match 2 of this Friday night. I gotta say, crazy. We've seen some interesting plays throughout this game, but what do you think it's going to take for Altitude to make it a 2-0 series, or do you think it's going to be more of like a VEA coming back 2-1?
Well, as long as Altitude doesn't try anymore, as long as they don't try any more army crawls, they should be okay. And it's just mistakes that they make. You know, they're a good team. We saw them perform very well, but they made mistakes, and it wasn't like small mistakes that cost them things. It was big mistakes, and it was from Sharsh twice. We saw at least 2 big mistakes, pushing into archives, just running right in there. And then army crawling into offices. Those are mistakes that you cannot be making. You know, if they continued to make those mistakes, they would not have even won that first map. That last round was a wipe. They just completely wiped the floor with VEA during that last round, and they did it because they didn't make stupid mistakes. So we know they're capable of doing it. Why don't they just do that straight through the whole game?
Yeah, exactly. So we do have all of the players in the lobby. As soon as we have it ready, we'll get it started and get it underway. But yeah, I totally agree with you there. You know, just silly things just happening here and there that really shouldn't be. You know, that last round, I think, you know, just a perfect example of, you know, doing the right thing, hitting your shots, getting things done that need to get done, and then just doing it. And that's exactly what they did. You know, there was no hesitation. They just got in there, and then that was it, right? So they're almost ready. We're waiting on just one more guy to get on back. And honestly, Clubhouse, I do think is going to go in favor of Altitude. I think Clubhouse is very much a more fragger heavy and a lot more reliant on aim. And that is definitely where Altitude has shown that they're better at. And it's not so much as strat heavy either. You know, it's very simple. I'm going to say, you know, what you have to do to win the map. And that's, I think, going to be right up Sharsh's alley.
Yeah, we are going into the map right now. It is Clubhouse. I think Kaylee kind of started to wake up near the end of border there. They did get 2 kills, I want to say, at least. I did notice that. So hopefully for this map, they're awake, because if all of Altitude performs the way that 4 of the members of Altitude were performing last map, this should be a complete wipe. They all had a large number of kills, all of them landing at least 5 or more frags, except for Cali. So as long as they're performing just as well, we should be okay.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Alrighty, so they will be starting down in the basement. Nothing too crazy. We'll be seeing a Capkin, however, so that's going to be interesting to note. You know, where exactly is he going to be placing those Capkin traps? Looks like he's already starting to place down at least 1 or 2. Everything else seems to be in place. Yeah, he's already gotten 2 down already. He knows his reinforcements. I actually want to see him go upstairs. You know, maybe put some in freezer and around in kitchen. I think that would be really cheeky instead of just placing them all down here. You know, just to kind of, you know, spice it up. But, you know, as the meta kind of develops and as, you know, people start learning, you know, where are they going to start putting these Capkin traps? You know, is it better to keep it on site? Is it better to keep it on the roam? I think that's very, very much strat dependent. So it's interesting to see. It looks like he's going to be keeping it down around site, which I definitely it's a good decision. You know, a lot of Clubhouse is not focused on roaming. Speaking of roaming, Cali is actually running all the way upstairs. I'm not exactly sure what Cali is doing. Being all the way up there, he just like ran up there as Rook, maybe going for a cheeky spawn peek here and there. Yeah, he's definitely going for a spawn peek. Oh, he saw the side of Hambo, but he's not going to be able to do it. He gets detected at the same time. Oh, that is just so unfortunate there. It very well could have been an easy kill, but he's given up his position. Anime has now decided to join him upstairs as well. Very outwardly aggression sort of plays coming out from altitude, and I honestly don't really agree with this. Clubhouse's map, it's hard to make it work. But just as I say that, Sharsh is actually up there. Oh no, that C4 just barely missed it, so he's gonna be able to miss it. Thoreau actually runs up and grabs MRGA as well. That's going to be the Montang out of commission. A very early, it's going to be a 4-on-3 now as Hambone's able to trade out onto Thoreau. This is something very unusual for Clubhouse. You know, it's very often you're not going to see very many roamers, but this time Altitude obviously catching VEA off guard with a quick roam, able to pick up both the Buck and the Montang at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, not only do you not normally see a roam on this site, but a rook roaming and a cap can roaming are completely, you never see that. And with the cap can being at 2-speed now, you might see the meta kind of develop around him being a mild roam, not really much of an aggressive one, but he did get that early pick there onto the Buck, which is very nice for them to have. That eliminates a lot of the ability to open up that kitchen floor there and look into sight. They can open up that hatch, and they are going to open it up right now, though. With Euphoria almost being spotted out by the Habana there. I think she just ran away at just the right time. But Anime is just sitting inside of the freezer right now. I don't think they have any drones that notices this. So, you know, Tyler, Hambone, and Liquor right now are going to, if they push into kitchen, then Anime on that Jaeger could just get that late flank. And Hambone actually is going to disconnect. So that's going to put it into a 2v4 with a Blackbeard and a Habana left. So they can kind of, I'm not sure how they're going to be able to play this, especially with Anime inside of kitchen here. So it looks like Tyler is going to open up the bar hatch now. They could try dropping in through that, coming in through Moto. But no matter what, Anime being upstairs right now is going to be a massive disadvantage for them because that late flank coming in from him, anything like that is going to be huge.
Agreed. You know, again, it's just so critical. You have to get your drones out on Clubhouse. You have to be able to hunt down the roamers, and you have to be able to deal with it. You know, looking at the operator lineup for VEA, it's very peculiar because they have a thermite. Man, Tyler's just making a lot of like weird movements. I feel like he's almost playing on a controller, just going back and forth very evenly. Great job from him. That Anime flank is definitely, like you said, going to be doing so much. Hits a Capcan trap, gets finished off by Callie, and it's just going to be all up to Liquor to try and make it happen. He honestly picks up Anime. Okay, he does pick up Anime. I was really worried there. He picks up 1 and 2. Yeah, definitely not a 1D situation. That was interesting, but unfortunately, he didn't really have too much of a chance anyway. So we will be going right into a rehost. But as I was saying, you know, they have the thermite, they have the Habana, but then they don't have a Thatcher. You know, I don't understand. You know, what's the point of bringing the thermite? I mean, yeah, sure, you're going to get Dirt Tunnel open, but you can't get open Church. So then why not just rely on the Habana and then just use that operator spot that the thermite is taking, and then bring something like, you know, like a Twitch or like an IQ or some other, you know, grenade or frag or some other utility to make it worth it. Because if you don't have a Thatcher, you're guaranteed to not get into Church, which means you can only really use your thermites in one way, which is going to be that Dirt Tunnel. So like I said, we will be going into a quick rehost there. Hambone has dropped out, so we're going to try and get him back into the lobby as much as possible. We're sorry for all the delays. That was I feel like almost a Canadian accent, but not quite there. So like I said, we will be right on back. Give us a few minutes. We'll get these players back in. We're sorry for all the delays. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just got everyone back into the lobby. Like I said, sorry for all these rehosts. This new patch is really wreaking havoc on a lot of our players. It's causing quite a bit of crashes and a lot of delays, and trust me, we're right there with you. But we're going to go ahead. We're getting this match underway once again, just to bring you back up to speed. We did have Altitude winning map number 1, and then they won the very first round of Clubhouse. So we should be seeing VEA on defense now and Altitude on attack. Yep, yes, indeed. That is exactly what we are going to be happening. We did see some very heavy roaming situations coming out from Altitude, and it really did work against VEA. VEA just was not ready to handle that outward aggression from Altitude, and honestly, it was very nice, and I'm curious to see if VA is going to be ready for that sort of play next time around.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I did notice from VA during the map was they are actually able to adapt fairly decently. They do notice, you know, what Altitude is doing. They kind of pay attention for it. They, you know, if they get caught by an angle one round, the next round, you know, they're going to be looking for that angle. They're going to be expecting, you know, because they expect Altitude to do it. If it worked they say don't fix something that's not broken. So they expect Altitude to just kind of do the same thing again because it worked before. So it should work for them again. So Viet Armis doesn't want things to work a second and third time for Altitude. So that adaptability is something that we should see prominent from VEA during this map.
5 seconds to insertion.
Exactly. So we will be seeing VA starting downstairs. Nothing too crazy coming out for the operator picks. That castle will be proving a little bit of an issue if the rest of the altitude lineup doesn't really have a solution for it. We do have an Ash, so that is going to be Sharsh. However, we do know that Ash on or Sharsh on Ash does have a tendency to die out quite early. So we have to just kind of watch out for that because he's kind of got the only utility, besides Habana, really, just to prevent that sort of play. Now, with that, I mean, we do now have a Ying as well. I kind of like this changeup, honestly. It's something just a little bit different to throw some people off guard. And I don't think because, we do have that Thatch or we do have that Jaeger, that's going to be kind of a big question of whether or not it's going to be proving effective or not. Now, we did see a lot of altitudes actually kind of droning out the map, and that's exactly what they need to be doing. Go ahead, take the first minute, drone out the map, make sure they're safe. You can do what you want to do, and then pushing from there. We do have throw now on the main stairs, so now altitude realizes, hey, guess what? We now have control of the map. Let's start working our angles. Hopefully, Throw realizes that that's a castle, not just a wall that he's shooting at. That is quite interesting indeed. But we'll get right on into it. So Crazy, from this, what do you want to be seeing from a VEA to try and, get some outward aggression, or do you want to just see them kind of turtle up?
I think it's smarter at this point for them to turtle up. They do have, they're all sitting on site so far, so it's smarter for them to just kind of stay here. They have the castle barricades up, so you can see. I think one of them is in position, or no? Oh, okay, no, Euphoria is in that hallway there. I thought one of them was in position to try to take out the Ying the second they broke down that castle barricade. But the castle barricades really are slowing them down. You do have Tyler. It looks like he's going to try to bandit trick the thermite right here. I'm not sure if he's going to pull this off. It's possible. And no, they're actually going to open up that church wall. So now they have these angles. So Tyler takes out Throw right after that. And then he takes out Euphoria, and he's pushing towards Anime. That outward aggression right there did pay off, actually. It is a 3v4 right now. It's in favor of the defenders, and Liquor and Fat Matt are both right here, ready for someone to try to push in there. And then Hambone takes out Sharsh as Sharsh tried to drop in, I think, through Kitchen Hatch. And now Matt is trying to look underneath this castle barricade. He might be able to see Habana's toe or knee in a second. Now, he doesn't see it. He's not going to get the shots off. But the last two attackers are both just cornered in Moto right now, just completely locked down. And if all of the defenders realize this and reposition themselves to, fight against this, they will win this round without any issue. And then there goes Anime getting downed by Liquor. Callie tries to push up, but he's not going to get a kill just yet. And he's going to get picked off with Liquor cleaning up the round with 2 kills right there.
Great job from them. And just as I was saying, those castle doors are just proving just to be too much for them. They don't really have that extra utility. Sharsh just kind of died out by himself. Great job from Tyler. Honestly, picking up that double was the key to winning that, which is really, really critical. So we'll have to see, going upstairs now, it should be altitude. They did win downstairs. So hopefully they will realize that they need to be playing upstairs inside of bar. Else they will, I guess, DQ the round. I think is that they definitely won on that rehost. They're picking Church and Arsenal, so I'm definitely a little confused here exactly what they're realizing. Yeah, they just went downstairs and they definitely cannot do that. So you might have to get an admin decision on this real quick. And they just now realize that that's not very good indeed. We might have to rehost. We'll have to throw it to the admins to go and decide, what exactly needs to happen. So this is an unfortunate decision. Yeah. So they will be getting for a rehost. Each team gets 3 rehosts per play day. So that means VEA is kind of out of rehost. So unfortunately, if Hambone drops again, that's going to be it for them. And they will have to rehost now to go back upstairs properly. The score is 1-1. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead. We'll take a short break just as we get the guys back in. No one crashed this time, so it should be pretty quickly. Oh, man, this is rough, guys. I feel you guys' pain. We'll be back as soon as possible. Well, I feel like I've been saying this a bunch this evening, and indeed I have. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more CCS action. I promise we will get to the end of this series eventually. We currently have a scoreline of 1-1 in the Altitude versus VEA matchup here on Clubhouse. Currently, Altitude has the first map, so we're going to go and get started as soon as these teams are ready. We've just got all 10 into the lobby. Just need to make sure we change the map as well. We are currently set to consulate. Let's not do consulate. Let's do clubhouse. Make sure we get all that in order. That would be certainly a travesty to go indeed. Both of these teams, I believe, are now out of rehost, so we definitely shouldn't have any more. Hopefully, they realize that. Last time they just picked the wrong bomb site, so hopefully, we're getting right on into it. So crazy. I know we haven't seen too much from these guys upstairs, but do you think like they're going to be roaming a whole lot, or what do you think we're going to be seeing from altitude and more specifically Sharsh?
Yeah, we're good.
So from altitude, I'm expecting kind of a standard, ranked style hold upstairs. I'm not expecting anything too special from them. Maybe they'll have one or two roamers. Somebody might head up to cash room, make sure that they're able to keep control of upstairs so they don't get fused out of stock or anything like that. But overall, I'm not expecting like a large roaming presence here. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were just all completely anchored on site. Maybe a strip club hold. We did see a few strip club holds from, I want to say, Reckless on Wednesday, but that's a completely different team. But the strip club hold can still be very important. You shut down the entirety of the inside of the map. You make them take a very long time to actually get into the building, and that gives you a really big advantage while you're on the defending team. So a roam is possible here. I'm not saying it's super likely, but we do have Throw on that Ella and Anime on that Bandit. We have seen the two of them roaming fairly frequently so far. If they are roaming, they do tend to do work with it. We do see those reinforcements actually coming up inside a strip club. So it looks like they will be going for a strip club hold, which is something that's kind of, it's not 100% necessary, but if you're able to do it, then it's a better hold than just holding inside on pool table and everything like that, in my opinion. I'm not sure if there's going to be much of, they do have the Monty on the attacking team though, so we could see that Monty push into stockroom. There's no smoke. There is an echo, so echo can kind of shut down a plant or make the Monty drop the shield, but there's no smoke to completely deny that Monty push into stock for the plant. So we could see that style of play coming out from the attackers right now.
I gotta agree with you. You gotta remember MRGA has been playing Montang fairly well, especially on that border. We saw him get a 3K one round with this Monty, so we very well could be seeing a quick push into stockroom with that Monty. They do have some smokes on Ying, so that's definitely gonna be important. Yeah, MRGA just gonna go ahead and open up the hole, actually taking a little bit of a chunk out of Anime with that hip fire. That's definitely cheeky indeed, as he gets his own little damage taken out. So it's gonna be all up to the road to try and make something happen, maybe from behind. You did mention that they do have that echo drone, so that can help bring it down. They have now given away that the fact that they do have the echo drone, as it is going to go and be forced out. Meanwhile, they do now have garage control. That's going to be VEA, so they now have cross angles. Liquor is going to go ahead and push on in. Callie's going to get down for being a little bit too aggressive, so that's going to be the castle. He's going to crawl on back. Throw actually is going to be able to get him up, so he's very lucky for him there. With a minute and 40 left, they have a great surround. Montang is going to go ahead and push on in, looking for the picks. It's going to be the Thatcher. That's going to be Tyler looking for Euphoria on that Rook at the tables. MRGA is going to be just hit constantly by this Echo drone, trying to allow Enemy to try and hit the feet. Not really going to work out very well. A little bit of a smoke charge falls a little bit short, as the Yings are going to go ahead and push all the way in. They are now planting in sight, but does we realize that what is happening is TKs fly all around Callie and Euphoria. Oh my goodness, Hambone just planted while they were getting him up. They didn't realize that he was actually planting in the corner. What is happening as Throw goes for the drop shot onto the Blackbird, is able to pull that out. Oh my gosh, what a round. I gotta say, Hambone planting in the smoke, comes out of the smoke, realizes that there's two of them right there, and gets one, but then gets down. So unlucky. If he was able to actually pick up both of them, that would have been an explosive round. I mean, that was an explosive round, don't get me wrong, but oh my goodness, you guys can't do that to me. We're just coming out of a rehost. You can't do that to me. My poor 18-year-old heart or 19-year-old heart, same thing, right? Tyler with the TK, that is definitely not good with that TK. I don't know exactly what happened. Just too many bullets flying here and there. Maybe you can shed some light on the situation, Crazy.
They wanted to get rid of that bandit. If they got rid of the bandit, they would have had full control over Stockroom with those two smokes blocking the kill holes that were set up in that wall. But they got too aggressive for it. The Monty pushed in at the same time as the Thatcher. And, I mean, when you do that, the Thatcher kind of just crossfired. And Tyler ended up killing their Montane and then didn't even get the kill onto the bandit. The Montane went down and then bandit just immediately picked off Thatcher. And then all in the meantime, Ying is just sitting in the smoke like, oh, well, let me just plant the diffuser. That's not the smartest move. You should have taken control of the site before trying to plant because...
I think you might cut out there, buddy. So we'll get back to you in a second. But yeah, like you're saying, Hambone just kind of rushing. I mean, they didn't realize that they didn't kill the bandit. So Hambone, he flashed his way in, but then didn't look to his right on the way in. So that, of course, he just left the bandit just chilling there. And that was really kind of one of the big critical points in that round. So once again, we're going to be seeing Altitude on the attack. This is going to be the first time we're going to be seeing them attacking upstairs in this bar site. We will be seeing also a strip hold as well. So this is definitely going to be interesting. Do they decide to go all the way around, or are they just going to go ahead and push into the strip hold? There is a bandit as well trying to hold down the strip wall. So definitely, keep in mind that, this is going to be an important round for them. If VEA is able to hold this, I think this is really going to be a back and forth game. However, if Altitude is able to push out this strip hold, I honestly think that's just going to be it. And then there's just no point, and that's going to be it. I don't know what I was saying with there, but I'll give it to you, Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so far both teams have been doing pretty well on defense. Lower site on this map is a lot easier to hold, in my opinion. While as this site is a bit more difficult. However, there's a lot of already pre-made strats. So there's a lot of different. Ooh, Matt getting a nice headshot on the Kelly. Kelly is just not having a good night. That is the thermite out of the equation. They cannot open that wall. They still have the Thatcher and they have the Habana, but I don't think they're going to use the Habana to open up that wall. I mean, Habana is upstairs right now. Again, there's the shot, the trade back on the Matt, actually. So that's Jaeger down and out now. So I guess at least they got the trade. They got the refrag. That's good for them, but at the same time, you lost their thermite without even opening up a wall. That's not good in the slightest. And there's a Euphoria taking out Tyler. That was a nice shot right through that main lobby door there. So now there's a lot of map control for Altitude right now. And they have a Blackbeard actually on main stairs, so they can't even run towards pool table. So if they were able to get into pool table, if they use that Habana, they go into strip club, then I think they actually, I think there might still be a player inside a strip club defending it. No, I can't. Oh yeah, so MRGA is still inside a strip club. But I think if Altitude right now was able to take out MRGA and take control of Strip Club, that would be the end of this round. But there is no one on B right now, so it makes sense for them to push that as well. However, I do see a few people, it looks like they're kind of heading towards that direction. But they don't have a Monty. Their Blackbeard is on the main stairs right now. Hambone getting a shot on the throw there. So that's actually bringing it to a 3v3 now. But Hambone is pretty low on health. So it was a kind of a trade-off there. You get the kill, but you're pretty low on health and smoke. You want to have smoke, especially at the 20-second marker. He can shut down a push. MRGA getting a kill on a Sharsh. Sharsh, another one that's just not having a great night right now. Anime spotted Liquor over there, but he did not get the kill. Hambone is inside of stock. He's going to get taken out. Anime taking out Liquor as well, getting double right now, but MRGA is just sitting nice and safe. I don't know if they're going to get the diffuser down. I don't know if they're planting right now. 0 seconds left, and they are getting the diffuser down. MRGA gets spotted out by Anime. He knows he's on pool table right now. Anime is just using this bomb for cover as best as possible. At Euphoria is going to get the kill onto MRGA to finish up the round for the attackers.
Wow, that was certainly a round indeed. That was not supposed to go in favor of Altitude. I cannot even believe that just worked. When you have a pinch situation like that, MRGA definitely needed to press his advantage after he got the twitch and really kind of distract that Blackbeard, because the Blackbeard was able to just kind of walk in, grab both the Ella and the smoke, and that was what kind of opened up that stock just wide open. That was absolutely... What a weird round, I got to say. Yeah, 3-1 is definitely going to be your scoreline here in favor of Altitude here on Clubhouse. They're one round away from match point and just so close. Last time we did see this downstairs hold from altitude, we saw a very heavy roam game going on. So I expect to kind of see it a little bit more slower pace potentially, even though they do have now an echo. So potentially they could do something upstairs. But yeah, they're probably just going to do something pretty slow and not play as aggressive just because they definitely want to just go ahead and close out this game. And I don't know. We'll have to see exactly how well this Montang play works out. Maybe do like a cheeky Montang down dirt. There's a lot of different things that they can do with that. So interested to see exactly just how well MRGA is going to be able to impact this round.
Yeah, I mean, MRGA is a pretty good Montaigne player. As long as he doesn't get team killed by Tyler, he can actually get a bit of work done on his own. So I don't see a Montaigne play on this site specifically too often anymore because a lot of people have started reinforcing that wall down at the end of Armory, down at the end of the hallway on Armory. So one of the big Montaigne plays that I used to see was people would open up that wall. They would just walk in with Montaigne plant right there. And it was ridiculously easy for them to get that plant, but people have started, countering that by reinforcing that wall, making it a lot harder. So I'm not sure how they're going to utilize the Monty for this round, but I'm interested to see it. I think they are going to be opening up dirt tunnel. They are droning out, making sure nobody's roaming anywhere, but it looks like all of the defenders are anchored down on site right now. So hopefully altitude or VEA notices this quickly and, just moves in because they don't want to take too long in their attacking round. They need to get in there. They need to start clearing, opening up holes, making the defenders a little bit worried. Give the defenders more angles that they need to watch, and it's going to be a lot harder for them to really defend this site. So they, VEA just needs to get in here and start opening things up as much as they can. But we do have Liquor moving in with the Jackal. He's going to scan Ella's footprint, so they have a constant ping now on Ella. That's good information for them because Ella is one of those big kill roamers. She will obliterate you if you do not take care of her early on.
I like this adaptation, bringing out that Jackal, realizing that they had a heavy roam game last round. Bringing out this Jackal is so good and a very smart decision to just kind of confirm and just kind of make sure that nothing, cheeky is going to happen against you. But I also like that this is a great call from altitude, able to realize, hey, they're probably going to, be ready for it. Don't try and do that again and just be prepared and play more passive. That's exactly what they're doing. Now, passive is definitely a interesting word for this because you also have to remember that they don't have a Thatcher right now on attack. And as long as Callie is like semi-decent at battery tricking, he can actually just completely deny this entire church wall to the point where there's no way they're going to be able to get in. Yeah, this entire wall has been completely batteried up, so this is definitely not a good situation. Anime is going to push all the way close. Hamlin's actually going to try and put a thermite charge on that reinforcement close, and he does get it out. This is actually an interesting strategy. He's going to be using that thermite charge to go ahead and get into the back of it. Throw's going to be able to pick up Tyler as Matt's able to pick up Callie. Throw from above is able to pick up a second one. He's going to see that Monty. He's going to smartly go ahead and back up, but he does have above the hatch. That's going to make Matt super worried. Meanwhile, Anime is going to go ahead and pick out Liquor. Liquor was that Jackal pushing in from dirt, so now they have full dirt control once again. It's going to be all up to the shield and up to Ash to try to make something happen, but no, MRGA goes in alone. That's just going to leave it all up to Matt, which is going to be cleaned up by Sharsh on that Echo.
I was hoping that Monty would actually be able to push into that wall there because I literally just said you don't see that often anymore because it's really hard to open it up. They did use the smoke canisters though, so that was very smart from them. They just kind of lost control, especially with that Ella coming around late. Like I said before, Ella is a huge kill roamer. Whether she goes for a late flank, whether she's been roaming the entire time and you just didn't notice her, she can do wonders for your team, and that's what she just did. She just ran up behind them and started picking them off one by one.
Great flank there, and that's exactly what I was thinking it was going to happen. I mean, yes, they were playing very passive, but they're going to try and send something up late, and if you don't put that claimer on garage and if you don't drone out the entire map properly, that is exactly what's going to happen. Great job from Throw, able to really find that opening in the holes of VEA and then exploit it very well. So with that, it is now match point 4-1. It has been a long night. I gotta say, we are almost to a midnight here on the East Coast. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around with us. Gotta say, I love you guys. You guys are a great audience. We now have 381 viewers. Big shout out to you guys. Definitely keep an eye out for more giveaways in the future potentially. I'm not exactly the person to to say that, but I'll make Ty bring something up. Oh yeah, like he's typing something. He's like, no, why would you say that? Why would you say that? You're forcing me into something. Yeah, exactly. So thank you everyone for go ahead and joining with us. This is map number 2 in the second matchup of this night. Gotta say, Altitude's been looking really, really strong here. VGA, they have some of the right ideas, but they're missing some of these small holes, like putting a claymore on the garage. I think that those small things like that definitely add up, and it is definitely shown throughout this matchup. I honestly, I'm not too upset. That they're making some of these mistakes because they are very common and forgivable mistakes. But hopefully they go back and they realize exactly what they are doing incorrect, and they'll be able to fix up and potentially come back even better next week.
Yeah, it's just a lot of small things that just become habit over time. I know the more that I played this game, the more frequently I would get used to putting claymores in specific spots, or leaving a drone watching a specific hallway. And even if I'm not the one sitting on that drone, if we have a guy who is dead, he can sit on that drone for us and give us all that information. So it's these small things that the teams will pick up on as they grow and as they play a lot more. And I think VEA definitely they don't have that experience. They definitely don't have the same experience as Altitude. So hopefully over time throughout the season, we're going to see all of these changes all of these teams are going to improve. Different things are going to change, and we will see improvements from all of the teams. A lot of flashbangs going in there from Cali, but no push from that. It's not the smartest move. I guess it does kind of distract them, but I mean, you have a minute 30 left. You have not really gained much ground in terms of heading downstairs. They haven't even started fusing out kitchen. They are getting a drone down there right now who's going to call people out, but Sharsh is just going to lose that drone. Oh, wait. Anime getting a nice shot onto Matt as Matt just kind of runs around and try to avoid the drone. That's a good pick there. The Jaeger is down now, but, you still fuse upstairs, not really fusing them out of kitchen. Euphoria is just kind of teasing MRGA right here, firing a shot here and there. But Anime gets another kill on the Hambone. So that's two defenders out of the count right now. That's smoke being out that's smoke being out before the 30-second marker. And I don't think using any of their smoke canisters, that's really bad for the defenders because that smoke can single-handedly stop a push from this hatch right now. Sharsh is going to get a nice fuse kill on the Tyler there. Either way, he was there because Anime had the angle from the hatch. It looks like the attackers are just kind of dropping in now. Liquor is inside a church. He's the last one alive as wait, what? No, oh sorry. MRGA is also alive right now. Throw takes out Liquor, so now it's MRGA left alone. He has almost no health, and there's not much he can do in here. And Anime is going to clean up the round. That's going to be game over with Altitude taking the win.
What a night. This has been a very long night, I gotta say. Thank you everyone for sticking around. That's going to be GG 5-1 in favor of Altitude here on map number 2. Just as a recap, they did win map number 1, 6-5 on Border. That was a tight match coming down to the wire, just like the very first one. Those for you that didn't know, I believe it was Prevail that actually came through. Was it Prevail that won that first matchup?
No, I believe it was
Honor took that.
Yeah, it was
Honor. Yes.
Yeah, Honor took that first one.
Like I said, it's been a long night, guys.
It has indeed been a long night. But great games indeed. Both matchups of the night, the first game of each matchup went to round 11. So even though neither of the games went to 3 maps, it still ended up being a long night. But we appreciate everybody that stuck around with us through all of the many rehosts, which apparently the patch has been creating some problems for some people. We'll hope Ubisoft gets that fixed a little bit on the quick side. And again, we just appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for all the new followers. Thanks for all the support. Again, my name is Ty Tangles. I'm your host tonight. Do not forget that if the person I mentioned earlier does not contact us within 48 hours to claim their free jersey, we will pick a new winner on Wednesday. And just in case he doesn't, you can still go on our Twitter page. It's the top pinned to the top of the page, giving away a free jersey. Instructions are on that tweet. Mr. Talon, Mr. Crazy Man, you've been seeing their names pop up all stream. Give them a follow on Twitter because they're volunteers They spend hours and hours here with us each play day. So go give them some love. Guys, can you think of anything else?
That's it for me. Because you got anything?
If the teams are watching this, I know a lot of the teams go into chat and they'll watch the ending of the match and then they'll say GG in chat and stuff like that. If any of the teams are out there right now, please guys, just go back to the VODs all of the time. Every loss is a learning experience. Even every win is a learning experience. Just watch the VODs, note any mistakes that you noticed. I know Talon and I both, obviously Talon is way more experienced with this game than me. I mean, his team won Challenger League the other night. So he has fantastic insight. And a lot of the times he gives that insight while we're here casting. Take it, please. It is one of the most useful things you have available to you. So I guess that's the last thing I could really say to the teams. And then to the viewers, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And we'll see you guys again on Wednesday.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys next time. And just know Talon is available to be your coach for the right price, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways.
You joke about that, but for the right price, I'll do anything.
Absolutely.
Face.
Let's not get weird, okay? No, just kidding. Again, thanks everybody for tuning in.
Can I get some Kappa Preds and shit?
Oh my goodness, here we go. Hey, all our schedule for the entire season is available on ccsesports.com. Again, thanks a lot for being here. We'll see you guys Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern. Y'all have a good night and a good weekend.